Okay, so I haven't really been following the Derek Chauvin trial about George Floyd's murder as closely as some of you that may come across this video have been following it. I've been checking in every now and again and making sure that, I'm keeping myself updated because I do care very greatly about this, as should anyone else that is familiar with this particular situation. But what I want to talk about in this video, and this is no analysis or anything, it's just kind of my opinion and what I think about the situation, is the stance that the defense is taking, and why it's honestly vile and completely reprehensible. Now, before I elaborate, of course, anybody accused of anything, of course, deserves a trial and deserves their right to a defense. I mean, that's not arguable, right? But so anyway, the defense, the position that the defense is taking is essentially George Floyd didn't die because of Chauvin's knee on the neck, right? That caused, asphyxia, wasn't able to breathe, thus he passed, right? I mean, it's science, it's logic, whatever you want to call it. You put your knee on somebody's neck, you don't allow them to breathe. If you can't breathe, well, then you die. That's what happened to George Floyd. But no, the defense is taking the angle of literally it was everything else but that led to his death. So what they did was they brought in this this former chief medical examiner or whatever. His name is David Fowler. This guy, they brought him in, and supposed to be some kind of expert or whatever. They brought this guy in, and he basically just kind of ran propaganda for them. And I mean, it's honestly what it was. It was quite hilarious, to be quite honest with you. So his thing, he said that he speculates now that George Floyd died because of the carbon monoxide that was being emitted from the exhaust from the car that he was laid beside as Chauvin's knee was coming down on his neck, right? What the fuck? I mean, I think there's another guy that said that the defense is also saying that, it could have been a sudden heart attack. A sudden heart attack? Do you know what a sudden heart attack is? Now, I've never experienced one, but I've seen it happen before, and they're really fucking sudden. People that have sudden heart attacks don't have time to tell you, hey, I can't breathe, or, I want my mom, or whatever it was that George Floyd was saying before he ultimately died. That's not sudden whatsoever. And they're taking all these ridiculous angles, and the prosecutors came in after this and they questioned this guy, and they basically tore him apart, tore apart everything that he had to say. But what this does is they're trying to kind of cast doubts, not even kind of, they're trying to cast doubt and confuse and do everything in their power to make the jury think something that they would otherwise believe if they were given the correct amount of evidence and facts, right? So they're saying, oh, well, it could have been this, maybe it was this. And you got to realize something about jurors, okay? These aren't some esteemed individuals that were selected to be a juror based upon their education or experience. These are regular people like me and you. I mean, these are regular folks. I mean, that's what it is. They're not some smart people that were chosen, on the behalf of whatever basis you can come up with. No, these are regular people. And regular people, can be subjected to lies and confusion and foolery and, fallacies. I mean, it is what it is. And, one can only hope that the prosecutors can prevail in making their arguments and making their arguments sound enough so that the jury can come to a sound conclusion, one that reflects the actions that were taken when that event occurred. But nevertheless, the defense, they're going to be staunch and stark with their position, as reprehensible as it may be. The guy is entitled to a defense, but I just thought that this was very interesting, the angle that they're taking. And I want to read to you a tweet really quickly before I go. It says, okay, so this guy is suggesting carbon monoxide poisoning was a factor. How is that better? If police held my face up to a muffler and I died because of that, it would be murder as well. And this other guy says, are we sure that carbon monoxide didn't kill John F. Kennedy? He was in a car when he died, driving behind another car. It could easily have been carbon monoxide. That's hilarious. Yeah, so basically it's everything but the knee on the neck. That's the angle that they're taking, and that's what they're hoping will do it for them. And I'm hoping that it doesn't, of course. I mean, look, that caused a global outcry. I mean, it wasn't just in America. People from all over the globe, all over the world, across each pond, every sea, every ocean was, protesting, taking knees, doing whatever to show their support for the Black Lives Matter movement, and their disdain for what happened to Mr. George Floyd. And one more tweet that I want to read to you: the cop who shot Jacob Blake point blank in the back on video is going back to work. He is, by the way, if you didn't know that, and will not face any discipline. So remember that if they sacrifice Derek Chauvin, he will be the exception, not the rule. So that's just something to think about. I thought that this was honestly kind of funny, kind of sad, but also very interesting, the angle that they're taking with this. Although I think it's vile, although I think it's reprehensible, of course, every person that's being accused of something is entitled to their own defense, and they can handle it however they may please. But we'll just have to wait and see what the outcome will be. Hopefully the jurors aren't swayed by any of the nonsense that they're pushing, but we'll just have to wait and see.